And several of these UFO sightings have been above secret nuclear weapons facilities. Almost every major nuclear power across the globe really has reported and declassified these sightings. You have talked extensively about the connection here, which might be helpful, I think, for some people to hear in advance of my next question, which is whether or not the U.S. government has considered utilizing nuclear-powered naval fleets to lure these kinds of things to further study them.
Wow. So, first of all, Jackie, thank you for asking such a thoughtful question. Obviously, you've done some homework. And I also want to, by the way, thank you as a journalist for following this topic because I know there's a lot of risk involved. And I also know there's been traditionally a lot of stigma and taboo associated with it. So I want to congratulate you for your courage and thank you and your audience for at least having this conversation. But secondly, yes, that is one of the concerns we have from a national security perspective, that there does seem to be some sort of congruency or some sort of intersection between these UAP or UFO sightings and our nuclear technology, whether it's nuclear propulsion, nuclear power and generation, or nuclear weapon systems. Furthermore, those same observations have been seen overseas in other countries. They too have had the same incidents. So that tells us this is a global issue. Now, in this country, we've had incidents where these UAPs have interfered and actually brought offline
Hmm.
our nuclear capabilities. And I think to some they would probably say, well, that's a sign that whatever this is something that is peaceful. But in the same context, we also have data suggesting that in other countries, these things have interfered with their nuclear technology and actually turned them on, put them online. So that is equally, for me, just as concerning. I think that there is certainly at this point enough data to demonstrate there is an interest in our nuclear technology, a potential to even interfere with that nuclear technology. And
Mm.
when you look at all these naval ships out there, let's take the Nimitz battle carrier fleet, for example. In some cases, you're talking about a nuclear footprint probably bigger than most cities. You have a nuclear powered carrier with aircraft on board and then you have nuclear powered destroyers. You have nuclear powered submarines, some of those with nuclear weapons on board or certainly nuclear capabilities. I'll just say that. So I think, yeah, it shouldn't be a surprise that maybe there is an increased interest in our capabilities as it relates to our nuclear technology, and the Navy is certainly not immune to that.
Hi, Shalom Mike. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I like to say Shalom to the elect that teach His word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And yeah, today, pretty much I want to title this lesson. Look who's really in charge. Which, as we get closer and closer to that perfect day, is being made known is Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. You know, that's why the scripture always outline the Lord who made heavens and earth. You know, not just because the Lord created a tree and that was it. The alligator, the clouds, or the things, the stars, the planets. No, that's even talking about the scenarios. You know, the scenarios, the things that play out on the planet Earth. The Lord is the one, the behind the scenes, pulling the strings of everything. You know, it was the Lord. He was the one that pulling the strings. Of reason why Esau put us into captivity. You know, it was the Lord that was one that was pulling the strings on 70 A.D. or even these kingdoms, the rise and fall of these kingdoms. It was the Lord pulling these strings, man. And it's being made more and more manifest, you know, that is Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, you know. And it's going to, just going back to the clip, as you can see, the chariots, the so-called UFOs, they call them UAP. That's a military term, lets you know that's heaven's host. You see, that's lets you know it's getting more and more. That war in the heavens making more and more sense now, you know. But you see, the chariots actually can interfere with the nuclear missiles, man. Well, that's all Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Matter of fact, let's get this. Cause as the Lord, He made all these things, man. Everything you see, this is all part of the movie. You know, everything you see is all part of the movie, man. This is the book of Revelations 4:11. It said, "Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things." See, the Lord created all things, all the way down to the scenarios. That's why you got prophecies. The prophecy is a scenario that's going to play out in the future, man. Which one of the ultimate prophecies is World War III, America being totally destroyed. And as you see, it's being more, that's making more and more sense as well now. To where they, these chariots pretty much turned the nuclear, their nuclear missiles offline in the U.S. and turned the other ones on, in these other countries, they turned them on. So to let you know, this the devil, so-called white man, anybody, everybody ain't got the power in their hands. It's Yahweh Hashem outside that, dictates your walks and sign off on your destiny, man. All these things were predestined, But he said the Lord created all things, even scenarios, and said, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. See, they are. It's here. Because this is all part of the movie. That's why it's created. That's why it's here now. Just going back to the missile. It was the Lord that did that. Matter of fact, let's get that. Because that's part of the finale. See, we getting closer and closer to the climax of the movie, man. You seeing everything coming to a head. Everything is starting to make more and more sense now. And it's being made known. It's a higher power that's doing it. Something that's that's out of your reach. It's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. No, it's like Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. See? Which the modern day smith is these Germans, man. The scientists. Where they was able to come up with a weapon of mass destruction. Who's pulling the strings? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Why? Because ultimately they was going to be part of the climax of the movie, man. It was all the build up. That's why you had Project Paperclip, where you had half of the German scientists going to the U.S. You had the other half going to Russia, and over the course of time, it grew. The technology grew. The sword have gotten sharper. It's more efficient now. Well, it was the Lord that pulled the strings behind. Was behind all that. That's why I said, I have created the smith to blow the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have, it's the Lord claiming full responsibility of these things, man. It's the Lord Yahweh Hashem that's stirring this thing up, man. That put the spirit on these devils to do certain things, because that's a part of the movie. That's a part of the script. It says, and I, have created the waster to destroy. See, so it's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the powers of heavens and earth, that's doing these things. And it's being made more and more clear that it's a higher power, man. That this man, the so-called white man, don't got no strength in his hand. It was the Lord that was watering him, actually picking him up. Matter of fact, let's get that. I think that's Isaiah 10. Isaiah 10. As it's the Lord that's putting the strings behind everything. Oh, I remember. I know the Lord said He was gonna cuss King David, and you actually had a man out there cussing him out. It was a scenario set up, and what King David said, the Lord said He was gonna cuss me out, man. So everything that happens is already predestined, and it's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that's behind it, man. Tells you He don't sign off. A sparrow don't fall out from the sky unless the Lord sign off on it, man. So just something that seems so insignificant, the Lord had to get a green light. It had to be a part of the movie before it plays out, man. So this is the book of Isaiah 10 and 15. It says, shall the axe boast itself against him that heareth therewith? See? Why? Because ultimately the axe get its power from the one who picks it up and put it to use, man. So what the hell an ass gonna get up and say and boast himself, because he ain't shit. Let someone pick it up and put it to use, man. Well, that's what the Lord did with the so-called white man. It was a point in time where that tool had to be used at a certain season. That sword had to be picked up. That's why I say it's a time for war, it's a time for peace. When we're in a time of war, that's why Esau has been lifted up. You know, it says, or shall assault magnify itself against him that shaketh it? See? Or as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as it were of no wood. See? So these things are deemed useless lest it's a driving force behind it. And that's with everything, man. Even the wind, even birds and all that shit is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. You know, and you sending out playing on a bigger scale. By the way, this third world war, you know, everything that what the scripture has been saying, you actually seeing it. But just going back to the clip, the chariots actually can, cut on or cut off these different nuclear weapons. That further proves that this is the Lord's weaponry, man. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of I think that's Psalm 7. Psalm 7 and no, that ain't Psalm 7. That's bear with me. That's Ezekiel. I'll get that. I'll go back to that Psalm, but this is Ezekiel chapter 38. Because ultimately, when those missiles get shot, man, it ain't gonna be up to these other nations that they're gonna do that. Like you're gonna have Kim Jong-un and Putin on the phone, and they synchronizing on how they're gonna shoot these. You know what I mean? So they won't bump into each other, man. No, it's gonna all be Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's why I tell you in the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, it said the weapons of it, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation, man. Because the Spirit of the Lord is gonna be in those missiles. Or they're gonna come in a certain formation. They're not gonna bump into each other. You gonna know that day there's a higher power, man. If you get through all that, the famine, the race wars, the food wars, class wars, somehow you didn't get drafted. I mean, somehow you survived to the missiles. From that day, you're gonna realize there's a higher power, man. Just how those missiles gonna come, man. So this is Ezekiel 38. Let's see. I think it's 39. Yeah, this is Ezekiel 39 and 3. It says, and I, see this is how Hashem Yahushua, and I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand and will cause thy arrows to fall out of thy right hand. See, so it's not gonna be these other nations that got the nuclear capability to shoot these missiles of their own merits, man. It's probably been plenty of times they've been wanting to nuke America. But it wasn't the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And when it's time to nuke America, it's gonna be the Lord that's gonna implement that. And it's been made more evident that the Lord can do it. Because you see the chariots tampering with this thing, man. So to let you know, it's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the power of heavens and earth, the power over the scenarios. You know, the Lord is one that dictates what's going on. And these people, man, especially the so-called white man, is going to find out the hard way, you know. So let's get this in the book of Revelations. Revelations 17. Because ultimately, this is the will of the Lord. That's why you got nuclear capability, fighter jets and tanks and shit. Lord, is this that time where these things are going to come to its climax? This is everything about to come to a head. See, this movie, that's why we all watching it in first person. Because this is something that you got to see for yourself, so to speak. This movie is you can't make this up, man. This is reality. And this is the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So this is Revelation 17, and I start at 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the horse. See, so this is toward the end of the movie. Out of this beast had her run, terrorizing planet Earth. It's gonna get to the point. This beast, is actually gonna turn on her. The Lord gonna actually put the spirit on these other nations, these NATO UN nations, NATO and EU nations, the allies of America, to turn on them. Because you already got the Lord putting the spirit. Oh, it tells you the Lord's going to put that. Matter of fact, let's get in the book of Ezekiel 38. Let's go back to Ezekiel 38, matter of fact. Because he said he's going to put a certain spirit on them Russians. It's the Lord that's doing that. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Yep. This is Ezekiel 38, and I start at 3. It said, and say, thus said the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And that's pretty much talking about the Russians, man. You know, it says, and I will turn thee back, see, and put hoofs into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. So the Lord put the spirit on it to bring that old USSR spirit back, man. You know, because there was at one point these Russians, I believe it was like during the 80s, you know, they was pretty much, that spirit kind of faded off on them, man. You know, they pretty much was watered down. That old USSR spirit was gone. Then after a while, you know, but now is when Putin, you see Putin, he's bringing that old spirit back. But it's the Lord that's putting that spirit on him, man. And what I say, I will turn thee back, meaning what? Turn them back to that old USSR spirit, man. And that's why you seeing it now that America versus Russia again, and it's becoming more and more. That's the championship match right there. You know, that's the big boxing match. At the end of the day, which the Lord said he against America, and he also against Gog and Magog, man. They're just being used for the movie, man. It ain't like Russia gonna come out on top. You know what I mean? It says, in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them, clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling the sword, see? So that just signs the Lord put that spirit on them. That's why they have nationwide drills. You know, you look at these, the Russian military commercials, they ready for it, man. You know, they got these different war games and all that. Because they preparing themselves for war, but the Lord put the spirit on them. Just like he putting the spirit on these other nations to turn against America. So let's go back, Revelation 17 and verse 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So meaning what? They're gonna turn and shoot missiles on them, man. But this is all the plans of the Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will. See? This is all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Everything you see, to a dog barking in the morning, to, you know what I mean? Everything. You getting up in the morning. Or they tell you that in Job, in the book of Job, tell you that in the slumbers when you sleep, the Lord seal your instruction. This is all part of the will of the Lord. That's like your script for the day. And you just gotta hope that your script don't end that day. You know what I mean? But this is all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, from the least to the greatest. The thing that's saying insignificant to what you see on the news and the thing concerning the vibration of the planet Earth is the will of the Lord, man. So who's really in charge? It's Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, and it's being made more and more manifest. That's the case. You know what I mean? So it says, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, see, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until, see, he had to run his course. The words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, see. And it is written, you see, reality is written within the scriptures. It's the Lord that's really in charge, man. And these people gonna find out the hard way when the word actually appeared by the way of Yahweh Shai cracking the clouds, man. You're going to know it's a higher power then. You're going to know that you had no power in that, that it was the Lord the whole time, man. So yeah, I just hope to edify. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakha Kudash. I'd like to give them honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to see Shalom.